And we are here on the Radio Power YouTube channel to go sci-fi exclusively to streaming services with Chris Pratt's War of Tomorrow, a cool time travel war alien film that's kind of different. And the creatures are definitely kind of cool. Not as scary as the xenomorphs, but still kind of scary in their own way. And the time travel premises of the entire film is unique. It's different. And we're going to talk about it a little bit here with Katie the Blonde in front of science fiction, not quite fear, but the monsters are fearful. And Chris Pratt isn't as jokey as I'm expecting him to be, which is fine. We don't need Chris Pratt doing Star-Lord every 5 minutes. We need him to be an actor and play different roles. And he does pull it off here very well, as well as his other ensemble cast members. And Katie's going to talk to us about it.
Hey guys, yes, I'm here to talk about The Tomorrow War, starring Chris Pratt, Yvonne Strahovski, J.K. Simmons, Betty Gilpin, Sam Richardson, and Edward Hodge, directed by Chris McKay and written by Zach Dean. Chris Pratt is Dan Forrester, a military scientist family man who is kind of lost with his life, sort of trying to figure out what he's meant to be, and he gets drafted to fight in a war 30 years in the future, where the fate of humanity rides on his ability to confront the past. Now, when he gets drafted, he obviously does not know this. It's not like it says, hey, by the way, whatever you do, that's going to determine the fate of humanity. No, I mean, there are a lot of people going on that get drafted. And that's one of the things I did like about this film. You don't see an action film and sci-fi film with regular couch warriors who aren't like necessarily like military trained, worked out, all this stuff. They're just like, okay, you get drafted, you kind of have to do this, and you have to go and fight these aliens. And basically 90% of you going to die, but that's how it goes. And it's sad, but I like the way these people handle themselves. I mean, you've got people who are brave and doing things that they never would have done. Now, if you like Edge of Tomorrow, Starship Troopers, The Thing, and a tiny bit of Deep Blue Sea, this is going to be your major jam. Because basically, if all those films were like mixed in a key party and you pulled it out, it would be The Tomorrow War. It's a summer blockbuster that is best to be seen in theaters. I wish they would have it in theaters. Unfortunately, they don't, which is kind of a shame, because this is definitely the theater going experience. It's the Independence Day of 2021. It's got awesome action, solid effects, a freaking bald, bearded, and buff as hell J.K. Simmons. Ooh, yes, he continues to impress me and be one of my celebrity crushes. And he's also one of those guys that if I know he's even in a little part of the film, it makes me want to see it. Those steel blue eyes say so much with just a glance without him saying anything. Now, there is not enough Betty Gilpin in this, but I am glad to see her in anything. This is an all-around, I think, solid blockbuster. And it definitely could have cut 15 minutes or so. It went a little long. It was a little predictable for me. And yet, again, as I say, I wish I could have seen this in the theater. I think this would have been an amazing theater going experience. And I mean, it's already Amazon's already set to have it a go for round 2, which I don't know how much the world can take, because you just lost a whole chunk of people in this one. I mean, between the future and now, there's a lot of people. Spoiler: there's a lot of people who don't make it out alive. But if it's got J.K. Simmons, Chris Pratt, and Betty Gilpin in it, I'm down. Oh, Sam Richardson, amazing comic relief. As I said, one of those people who aren't in the military necessarily, but stand up, and do their duty. He is hilarious. And I say give it a watch.
Absolutely. What did you think of the monsters in the film?
That was one of the things that reminded me of Starship Troopers. I think there's that, and another part of it reminded me of Starship Troopers. I liked the color. It's if you gotta reinvent an alien, I think they did a nice job considering it's not the typical looking alien that we've seen, decades before. So, I think they did a decent job on it, and the digital effects on it weren't bad.
No, and it was also a very smart creature too. Those bugs are just bugs that are mindless drone things. The aliens have some intelligence sometimes, and it's just based on who's writing them, I think. Honestly, I'm only basing it on 2 films. I'm not counting the other 4 or 5 that have been pretty terrible. But these guys definitely had a bit of intelligence, especially the queen when she gets injected with the stuff and she does what she does to herself. It's kind of like a wolf getting trapped in a trap, chew its own leg off kind of thing. I was expecting a more lighthearted tone, and the seriousness I got of the entire film, I was very surprised about, because Pratt is not known for his serious acting. I mean, he went from chubby guy on Parks and Rec to, beefcake on Guardians of the Galaxy, unnecessarily, but you know what I mean? His demeanor and attitude were heightened in intelligence because Star-Lord's a slightly smarter character than his character on Parks and Rec, who was kind of the, dumb kind of character. But in this, much more serious tone, even though he's still throwing in the joke in here and there. And I actually did appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, starting like doing his early days on television, even before Parks and Rec, when he was doing. Sorry, I'm looking up the show. What was it called?
Oh, I don't know anything from his work outside of Parks and Rec and Guardians, and a film appearance here and there.
Never would. I mean, that was a very serious tone. So, I mean, he's a guy who I think I actually like his talent. I like that he is. It's just very natural. I think the way he acts, and I think he can actually do a lot more when people give him the credit to do it. I mean, his obviously his comedic timing is amazing. Like, seeing his improvisation on Parks and Rec is fantastic. But yeah, I think he can definitely do some drama that maybe some people haven't given him the chance for. But when you're doing blockbusters and all that, and I mean, and you're working for Marvel, hey, you're going to do what you're going to do. But I would definitely like to see him try a little bit more of the dramatic tone that he had in his earlier days.
Absolutely. Check out the rest of the videos here on the Radio Fire YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, and the other reviews by Katie the Blonde in front of here. Check her out on Facebook, and check out Radio Fire on Facebook as well. Send us an email at radiofire@gmail.com for questions and comments. And we'll be back in a few weeks with another exciting review here on Radio Horror.